I'm David Katzmeyer with CNET, and I'm sitting next to the Panasonic TC-P VT50 series. This is a 65-inch plasma. This series is also available in a 55-inch size. This review will apply to both sizes. This is Panasonic's best television for 2012, and in my opinion, the best plasma TV the company has ever made, and the second best ever after the legendary Pioneer Kuro that's long discontinued. This TV's picture quality is its real strength. We'll get to that in a little bit, but let's take a look first at its design. This is the nicest looking Panasonic plasma when seen from the outside, with the picture turned off too. It's got the company's signature full pane of glass that fronts both the bezel and the screen for a really smooth integrated look. There's also a relatively thin bezel on this TV, and the seen from the side it's about 2 inches deep even at this 65-inch size, so it's a thin TV overall. All told, one of the nicer looking plasma TVs I've ever seen, and that's saying something. It's a little bit better than the LG and Samsung designs from this year. The one downside of the design is this two-tone stand here that fades from a silver to a black, but just gives you another excuse to wall mount the television. As Panasonic's flagship, this set includes all the bells and whistles you'd expect. It has a 2 THX modes, a 96 Hz setting for 1080p24, and a bunch of other things to address picture quality improvements. TV also has a little bit better screen filter than its step-down line mates. We'll get to that. One of the more visible step-ups is this remote control. It's actually a little touchpad designed for use with a thumb. It's actually a little bit better than the touchpad found on Samsung's TVs. It's a lot more responsive, and you can whiz through things like Netflix and Vudu thumbnails really easily. Of course, the TV has a built-in web browser. The remote is designed to work with that too, but we really didn't find the web browser all that compelling. One of the downsides of this remote, of course, is that if you have a universal remote, you're going to have to add the second one to your coffee table if you want to use it. Panasonic's Viera Cast online features have plenty of content, including Vudu and a whole bunch of other video streaming services. Not quite as much audio, but again, it's pretty darn good. This VT50 also has a dual-core processor, so things are a little bit snappier when you move around the internet services. There's also a little multitasking going on here. You can flip a button and pop up to see the last few used apps that you have. I also like the fact that you can customize the app home screens with the apps that you want and not the ones that the manufacturer wants you to look at. One downside, this TV's app suite has built-in advertising, so there is a little banner that pops up when you first turn on the TV. However, you can disable that, so I'd recommend you do so. Around back, the set has plenty of inputs, including 4 HDMI, USB, and a component video input if you have a breakout cable. There's also a SD card slot so you can look at photos really quickly from digital cameras. One downside of the feature set is Panasonic doesn't include 3D glasses with this TV. You're going to have to buy them. They're about $65 a piece. You can, however, opt for the Samsung glasses. They're at $20, and third-party glasses coming out in the future will probably even be lower priced. The VT50 also has the ability to adjust the picture more ways than I've seen on any other TV. There's a 2-point and a 10-point grayscale, full color management system, as well as a full gamma control system. These controls didn't work quite as well as we've seen on some Samsung and LG TVs, however. That's really not that big of a deal, though, because the THX modes are excellent out of the box. You get a bright room and a cinema setting that, according to our measurements, performed extremely well. Speaking of performance, the VT50 is the best looking plasma TV I've tested this year, and I don't expect any other plasma to perform better. It's going to be right up there with the OLED and the Elite Sharp TV coming out a little bit later in this year, but both of those, OLED and the Sharp, are going to be a lot more expensive than this set. So this is a very high-end TV, but the picture quality is superb. The VT50 also has a brand new screen filter for this year, which means that it rejects ambient light better than any other plasma TV I've seen. It keeps those black levels regardless of how bright the overhead lighting is, which is a real plus. Anyway, that's a quick look at Panasonic's TC-P VT50 series. Again, the best performing plasma TV I've seen this year. I'm David Katzmeyer.